What's going on, everyone? Okay, I think we got good audio. So this is something that I'd like some feedback. If you can put some feedback below, let me know what you think. All right, give me some ideas. I know there's tons of webinars and things out there. You've probably watched a ton of these yourself. I'm gonna flip this around and get this all set. Let's see, here we go. What if I'm gonna show up on there? Let's make sure we're good. Let a couple people jump on and I'll tell you my ideas and make sure. Let's see, do I make it? Cut my head off? Maybe it does a little bit. All right, yeah, that should be better. All right, we're gonna get rolling. Okay, check this out. We are in a crisis right now, for sure. I don't know about you and your clinic. Our numbers have dropped probably about 35, 40%. At the beginning of the week, we were already 45% down, but I know we're gonna make some more appointments as the week goes on. We've spaced out our schedule. We have a lot of people that are self-quarantining, immunocompromised, older population, just scared. And we have a lot of patients that are still coming in, but we're down considerably. We're cutting patient hours, cutting staff hours, but we're opening up other hours to do some other things. So we have to think outside the box right now. We have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and we got to do it quickly because it looks like we're going to be at this for another at least 4 weeks. And this is also a very good segue into getting your home care stuff set up, which I'll talk about in a second. So my name is Dr. Todd Pickman. I have a clinic called Gonstead Spine and Wellness in Meridian, Idaho. And we have this group called Move Now University, and we have almost 150 doctors all over the world that follow systems on how to put functional movement, corrective exercise into their practice, also with a home care part of this that engages your patients. And right now with our patients, we have a really great plan as far as how we're gonna engage them at home. We've already started taking a poll on patients. We already have about a dozen that are highly interested. We gotta start making phone calls to everyone else and let them know that this is even available. And I wanna run through our thought process. So I'm just sharing with you how I'm going through this with my team. Okay, this is brand new. We're basically, we started doing some of the processes on this today. We're gonna launch it tomorrow. I plan to share it with all of you chiropractor brothers and sisters along the way, let you know what we're finding out. I think this formula is gonna work quite well, and we'll share how we do it. So if you can comment and you can let me know what you think on this. Let me explain, okay? So it's like whether you've been shut down or your numbers have just dropped considerably, I'm calling this TeleChiro Solution. I don't know about you, I've gotten multiple emails about how to do telehealth, okay? The gears start turning in my mind. I get the emails, they talk about the mechanics. You know, you can do it on a Zoom call, you can do it on this special telehealth software, certain codes you can build. Okay, all of that is fine, but the first question I have is, how are you gonna get patients to care about it, want to engage, and get them scheduled? And then what are you actually gonna cover when you go through this with them that is gonna be meaningful and helpful for them? If you are a adjustment-only chiropractor, you're kind of out of luck right now. I mean, you can give them some guidance and feedback, but you have no other services you can do. I was an adjustment-only chiropractor my first 8 years in practice. Now I'm at 17 years in practice. My second half of practice has been a highly corrective care rehab model on top of a strict chiropractic foundation. We have lots of stuff that we're gonna do with them at home. I have tons of ideas with this, but I wanna share this with you guys and gals because if you're not set to do this, or maybe you do exercise in practice, but you're just really not sure how to put this together over a video call with your patients to keep them engaged, here's some ideas, okay? So I'm gonna run you through this. I wanna make sure you can see this. So I might just move the camera. I'm gonna move it right here. So excuse my bumpiness around with all of this. And hopefully I'm still in the frame. All right. Okay. So I'll crouch down a little bit. Okay, so here's how it works. Start here. Number one, make a list. This is what we did today. We made a list of all of our patients who have canceled or rescheduled a month out because they don't want to come in during this time. We have a list of about, I think, 65 or 70 patients, just about. Okay, now I see about, I was seeing about 140 to 160 visits per week. That's about my max that I like to see. We do a lot of rehab in our office, so patients are in the office for a lot longer, so it's a very in-depth visit. And now we're down to, I think, maybe 80 visits this week for me and 20, 25 for my associate doctor. Maybe I'll be at 90 if lucky. So I want to see how I can engage these patients that have dropped out, because they still need care. They still need guidance. And I think most of them are going to want it. So first thing is make a list. This is what we did today. We made a list of your self-pay or cash patients, your insurance patients, personal injury patients. Medicare, we're going to call that under cash because pretty much it's non-covered services. All right. So that's the first thing. You make a list. That's number one. Number two is you learn the rules. Start paying attention to those emails that you get about different telehealth setups. Okay. Some good ones that I saw. Let's see. I know. Well, first off, as far as compliance guy, Dr. Perry Barnhill from the Fearless Chiropractor, he's a guy that works that does work for us, does work for our Move Now chiropractors as well. We consulted with him right away. I watched a webinar from Dr. Mark Studin, chatted with him on the phone for a few minutes. He put out some great webinars on the up-to-date rules and things. So I would go to, I would just look up Mark Studin. I would look at his stuff, start watching his seminars. There's just a ton of stuff out there, okay? I'm not trying to teach you all the rules with this. I can go back and teach what we've learned and how we're gonna do it, but we're watching the webinars and learning it just like all of you are gonna be learning it. So you learn the rules, figure out what codes you can do, time codes, make phone calls. We had our billing manager today call basically every single insurance company that we work with and ask them questions. Are you waiving copays and deductibles? Because some are. What codes are covered? Are they just the brand new telemedicine, telehealth codes? It's like a 9-4 code or something. And they don't even really know how much it reimburses exactly. It's a timed code. And then are you covering other services like exercise codes? Well, we found out Blue Cross out here is covering exercise codes. Great, because we're going to be going through exercise with these patients. We just check in. All right, so anyone who watches this live or on the replay, comment below. Let me know if once we have this thing all launched and put together, because I'm gonna make a video about this. I'm gonna add some stuff inside of an existing program that we already built on how to do a home mobility kit program, because it ties into this beautifully. I'm gonna add a whole section teaching what we find out works when we get our processes put in place, which is in the next couple days. So if you want to know about this, put something in the comments below. I'll have a link eventually soon that I can direct you to. So if you put a comment below, I'll go back and I'll make sure I shoot you the link so you don't miss it. So make a list, learn the rules. Once you learn the rules, this is like basically where we're at right now. We have a lot of the rules down. We have an idea at least to get rolling. Next one is engage and schedule. All right. So engage and schedule, start setting it up. We're probably gonna be scheduling 2 people every hour to do this. And for example, I've condensed my shifts down in the clinic. So I just work half shifts, half day. Truth be told, I was doing that before this whole pandemic, but now they're just shorter shifts. So I have all my staff there for these shifts for patient care, and on the off time, my staff's not gonna be there. I don't really need them there. It's gonna be me, my exercise therapist, and then that's it. We're gonna have this all scheduled, and our billing manager will probably be doing billing stuff, but the rest of the team can be working on other projects, doing training off to the side, or they might just not be in the clinic at that time, and there's some unknowns we have with that of we're going to find out in the next couple days how this grant's going to come through to be able to cover payroll stuff. You know, right now for my team, fortunately, they haven't had to feel it. So I'm feeling it, but I'm making sure that all of my team is still comfortable. So anyway, this is the plan. Is like tomorrow I see patients tomorrow afternoon. So in the morning, I'm going to start looking into this further, see if I can start filling in some appointments tomorrow morning. And at the very least, Thursday, I see patients in the morning, my afternoon's open. I'll get some patients scheduled in the afternoon. Friday, I'll get some patients scheduled to do these TeleChiro, telehealth sessions, okay? Now, I skipped a step, darn. So step 2, learn the rules. Step 3, get mobility tools. This is an important part of this because what I'm gonna tell you over here is this is gonna be the foundation of what we're gonna do with this. If you go to Amazon and you look stuff up right now, a lot of home exercise equipment, if not all in certain categories, is sold out. It's gone. You can't find it. We stocked up on this stuff because we use this with our patients in practice every single week. we have these things called home mobility kits. I hung one right here. Comes in a bag, comes with a handful of different tools. A foam roller for one, a neck trigger point tool, all right? Some of this stuff's still wrapped up. Double lacrosse ball, and 2 mobility bands. Ugh. Red band, black band. All this happens to be branded to Move Well Spinal Rehab. Last thing is J-Cane. All right, these are all mobility trigger point type tools, and then we have all these protocols that we had built with this, and we built out a full online exercise library that our patients have access to, other doctors and their patients have access to. I just looked, we have close to 800 people inside of that. That's nationwide clinics sending their patients to be able to access it. So it's already being used highly. And I know a lot of people don't know about it. So we have a full training for that, I'll get to that in a second. And then we have lots of mobility kits. So I have probably close to 700 or 800 of them left. And I have a whole other order from a manufacturer to get them in here. And we'll probably get the next shipment in about 8 weeks. So we have enough for our practice, and when they're gone, they're gone. We have enough, like just a couple days ago, we sent out, like typically they're sent in a box 10 at a time. And we just sent out 30 to one doctor out in Kansas. So we're shipping them out every week. So now get mobility tools, because that's gonna be a big basis of this, so that your patients can get these from you, and then they have all the tools they need to engage in the stuff that you're gonna show them. Okay, engage in schedule, we talked about that, so you get them scheduled. And now what do you do? This is like the big thing that I haven't seen anyone cover yet. How do you actually do an appointment? What do you even cover that makes sense? I've heard people kind of, well, you can do a movement assessment, you can give them recommendations, you can tell them how to sit behind a computer. All great stuff, all great stuff. I like structure. I like boom, 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 and have it very organized. So this is my first thought process of going through this. Let me cover this, let me check in. All right, so again, if you have questions, comments, put it below. Tell me resources that you found that are good. Tell me what you want to hear with this. Make sure we get good on here. Okay, so TeleChiro appointment. So here's how this is going to work. We're going to use our Move Well Quick Check, which is something that we made before. It's 6 different movements, takes about 3 minutes. I'm going to refilm a video with my exercise therapist. It's going to be a monkey see, monkey do, and it's knowing that the person has to do this at home without any equipment on the other side of a camera, and just knowing how to get things set up before we get started so it's not fumbly, but it just goes nice and smooth. How that works, there's 6 different movements that we check. So neck, shoulder, thoracic, core, posterior chain, a couple other things that we're looking at. And some of them are done with the patient standing, some are sitting, but they're all very simple movements. We're gonna have them stand back from the camera a certain number of feet, and they're gonna watch a video of us instructing first. So I'm gonna pre-record this video, put that up there. When we do that, we'll share that with you so you can play that video to them as well. Because like I'm planning on taking what we're gonna do that I'm sure is gonna work very, very well, and then help other chiropractors do this as well, and just not have to recreate everything, because we've already created most of it, and we're just gonna build a couple of other steps to make this go really smooth. So a patient will stand back, they'll watch the video, they'll move, they'll do their thing. We're gonna use a screen capture video software called Snagit. Costs like $50 to get it for a lifetime, get it. And you can just highlight the screen, hit record. We can record them while they do it. It'll take them 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, we watch them, they're done. Now we take that recording, we can play it back to them through that same conferencing stuff. I'm gonna plan on using Zoom at first, and then I'm gonna look into something a little bit more concrete. And then we play it back to them, and then we pause it, and we go through each movement, we explain what it means and what we're gonna do with that. And in case you don't know how to explain that, we have all the training on that inside of this thing called the Home Mobility Kit Doctor Training Portal, something like that. I don't think it's that long of a name. So we explain to them what's going on, then we prescribe what protocols we want them to do, which is inside of an online exercise library that we've already built. So we send the link over to the patient, username, password, they create it, they can get into it, and then they can go through these exercise protocols that we assign for them. We have a little mini single folded, cardstock paper home journal that we can email that to the patient. or we can print it out, and if they don't have a home mobility kit, they can come into the clinic, pick up the kit, pick up the journal. It'll all be sanitized and clean and ready to go, and now they have all the equipment they need to have at home. So while they're going out and getting groceries and they don't want to be out in public, they can swing by the clinic, we can walk out to their car, put it in their car for them. Now they have a home mobility kit, they have their home care journal, they're set, okay? And then with that, we map out all the stuff for them to do. We engage with them 1 to 2 times per week, all right? And we then, step 6, document and bill. This is something else that we'll also map out. I already started making macros on this today inside ChiroTouch as far as how to put together some macros to document the things that you have to document when you're doing any sort of telehealth visit. I've learned some of the rules by watching various webinars and talking with, or my staff talking with Dr. Perry Barnhill from Fearless Chiropractor, who's a compliance guy. All right, timed codes, telehealth codes, all that'll be put together. And the cool thing about this is it sounds like the time it takes for you to prepare for an appointment and the time it takes for you to document everything afterwards, and then the follow-up stuff you're gonna send over to the patient, that's all time that you're gonna track, and it's all billable time to a third-party payer, to a insurance, okay? So in theory, if we're doing 30-minute appointments and it takes another 15, 20 minutes per patient on the back end, now you have 50 or so minutes, maybe 4 units worth of billable timed codes times 8 patients over 4 hours with really no staff, no overhead during that time. So it's just you and maybe, like in my case, I'm gonna work with me and my exercise therapist so that we can double down on this. And now you're able to actually give amazing, awesome services to your patients, set up things for them to do week by week so they're moving forward in their care, follow up with them either twice a week or weekly, and you can actually bill and generate some revenue coming in to support you and your family. Okay, I know throughout this, it's that famous quote in politics, never let a good crisis go to waste. I'm not taking this and trying to capitalize on it like, here's how we can get some more home mobility kits out, but I kind of am on the same note, because you know what? We have these kits. I know everyone's looking for this equipment, and I want you to know that we have a ton of it. We have a warehouse full of it, and we ship this stuff out every single week to our doctors and our members already. So great time to get on board. Use this for this home care solution. It's a temporary problem right now, and this is a temporary solution that actually has long-term solution capabilities, because if you're not doing home care with your patients, I'll tell you, patients really appreciate it. They need it. It complements your in-office care so greatly. And right now, if you don't have any in-office care, that's all you have. So again, thanks for jumping on this Facebook Live. Comment, give me some feedback. Let's keep this going on a thread below. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know any feedback. If there's anything in here that you think I just got totally wrong, because I'm getting this as quick as all of you are getting it. Let me know if there's something that you think I can add to this. Let me know if you have questions. I'll tell you what I know, and then let me know if you're interested to follow what we're doing. And I'm gonna build a couple of pages that can give you access into our home mobility kit program. And one more thing, I was gonna pull this up. I'll show you what this looks like, okay? So bear with me. I'm doing this raw and live, pulling up my computer. Okay, so let's see. So this is what the home exercise library looks like. So let me show you this. So this is what patients get access to. It's just very simple. Mobilize, stabilize, reinforce. These are protocols. So neck, shoulder, thoracic, posterior chain, trunk, core, glute. And they can click on this, and it's a follow-along video, 11-minute video.
Hi there, and welcome to our Move Well corrective exercise sequence for the shoulder. So first thing we're going to start with is our trusty double lacrosse ball.
So it's using all the products inside the home mobility kit. That's how the whole library is set up. So we have these quick follow-through videos, follow-along videos, and then we have more details for each body part. And we have just a really simple exercise library, easy to follow for each one of these: neck, thoracic, shoulder, posterior chain, trunk, glute, and then other is like some additional stuff in here. Okay, it's just trying to load. So now the other thing I was going to show you, this is a program we built back in the day that a lot of people still jump into. Move Wall Mobility Kit Members Area. And how this works, this has all the training on how to set this stuff up. So getting started with home mobility, understanding movement, so the science behind it, what does this stuff really do, how to talk about it. These are all talking points you can educate your patients with on these telehealth visits. All right, it's loading. But anyway, these are all videos. The MoveWell quick check. So here's how we do this movement assessment step by step. Is there an earthquake happening right now? Holy moly. I think we're in an earthquake. Is there an earthquake?
The whole freaking house is moving. Feel that?
It's an earthquake. Holy moly. We just have an earthquake? Did you feel that? How crazy is that? Facebook Live earthquake. Just walked inside. My whole house is moving. Let me go see what's going on here. This is crazy. That was pretty nuts. I'm sure that was an earthquake because my whole house was moving. I don't think that was just wind. But definitely to end a Facebook Live. All right, I'm gonna go look on the news and see if that was an earthquake. Anyway, stay tuned for this stuff. Comment below. See ya.